Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In the last episode, we built this monstrosity over here to get things to work, to get the food train to go all the way to our transport hub. And it's slow. It works, but it's slow, and so we do need to fix that. There's also been some comments that I quickly think, so thank you for those saying that an extra runway can only be built from the 1980s onwards, so we've got about another 12 years before we can get to extra runways. There seems to be some issues with my reading of service rates, so there may have been situations where I actually read the cargo instead of the rate or something like that. I'm not too sure, but anyway, that's fine. We will try and pay a little bit closer attention to it. Then you're also suggesting that I need to pay more and closer attention to tractive effort and power and those kind of things for the cargo instead of the speeds. I agree, and I have been looking at them, but I haven't necessarily been talking about it that much. And I do admit that I probably don't fully understand the whole tractive effort thing. Well, this is a nice little main road here in Malukuburg. We've got lots of people on this line, but first things first, I want to try and fix this bridge. So let's get this train to move along. If it's going to stop there, wait for that guy to clear out. Oh, yeah, this guy's coming back. So this one will have to wait for that one to come on out. Lots of busyness happening over here. So I'm not necessarily sure I need to get rid of that. I might get rid of this one. And we'll get this guy to come on by here. How much is on here? It's pretty full. Yeah, it's full. This is not bringing anything, right? Yeah, this is an empty train. So we might need to see about potentially getting something to come back on that train. Would be quite useful if we can. Find a spot to maybe carry stuff over. We'll have to see. Maybe if we stop there on the way back. Okay, now I'm going to pause the game because I've actually, well, let's get that to go a little bit off the bridge. There we go. Now I'm pausing the game here. And what I want to have a look at is I want to see if we can potentially use the existing bridge. It is in a little bit of an awkward angle, and then what I wanted to do was do something like this. So if we come in from that side, it will be better. But wow, that looks horrendous, doesn't it? And that's obviously not going to work, but I'm sure we'll find a spot here. So that's like at 111 kilometers an hour, 180, 111 for the turn there. Could we get it faster if we do that? That seems more appropriate, really. That seems more appropriate. Unfortunately, I almost think we need to. Okay, hang on. I'm wondering, do we build out a separate section? Maybe we'll just start it off from there and then we'll pull it off this way. I don't think that's going to work either. Well, it'll already be a massive improvement if we just kind of pull it off from over here at like. Really, is that the best we can do? So they really do want us to go nice and wide, like from the middle of the bridge or something. 133 right over there should be completely reasonable. We drop that in. I think that is about the right thing to do. Let's have a look at that over there. Ooh, my goodness, that's actually really good. It might be clipping that right at the top there, but it's allowing it, and it looks pretty good. And then we just need to tie on in over here. So let's do that. I'm going to build that. We're going to then tie it in at a decent speed across both of these. Perfect. Something like that I think is about right. Yeah, that should be good. Perfect, like so. And what we'll do is we'll double switch this guy. And now we'll have a better maneuver through there. I think that's working out really well. It's a little bit of a clipping issue over there, but it's still, I mean, it's realistic. It's realistic in that you just wouldn't have built this specific cantilever or this specific piece of infrastructure there. You would have attached those wires or cabling to the bottom of the bridge. But it's getting the appropriate clearance over here. So that's the split out from the bridge over here. It's quite interesting how that works. I doubt you would ever see something like that in real life, just because it's massively expensive. But anyway, that should help us out. What I'm going to try and do now is I'm also going to get rid of this little maneuver here, because we no longer need that maneuver. We can still keep that other bridge because it serves some form of purpose. So let me get that out of the way. I'll get rid of this one. And then what we'll do is we'll provide a better switch here, a better switch, so that it's easier to move from that one to this one at a decent rate. Don't need more than say 100k, something like that. It'll just be better. I don't think we need to switch into the other direction either. It's just to get into there, basically. I think that is completely sufficient. Now, if we look at our lines, we can see that we in fact have our line running up there, which I think will make things work a lot better. So if I have a look at this guy, I just want to see, did it up the rate at all? I believe it may have upped the rate a little bit. Because it should, because it's now an easier way of traveling. Ooh, and what we also need to do is I need to be mindful that we need one of these guys over here, and we probably need something over there to help these guys just wait it out, to wait their turn to get in there. I hope there won't be too much waiting on this. Let's quickly see it function just for a minute here. That guy's just rushing through, and as soon as it's through, this guy should have the ability to move in there. Nice. And it's a very smooth transition into there. That's good. That's really good. Excellent. Okay, that works at least a little bit more. Now, this is a busy hub over here, and we probably need to start looking at additional hubs a little bit further afield. Chaos Grad is where we looked last time, and we are doing proper work with our construction materials, a decent amount of supply of fuel, and I want to have a look at that. Food is now starting to come in here into Chaos Grad as well, and probably less so into Meluchburg now than it used to. 16 only. So really very little food is actually making it everywhere it needs to go. So I'm guessing Berlin is getting food. Yeah, very little though. How much food are we actually creating over here? But we're still waiting on an upgrade though. So we need to transport a little bit more, and then we should be able to get an upgrade. So what is that? Is that are we missing out on the right here? Okay, so these should be doing full capacity over there, and full capacity over here. That's fine. Now, if I go on this train and we have a look at that, our rate is 331. Annual throughput per station. Per station? It's a little weird. So 331, is that approximately about what we're doing? So we need at least another train onto that line, right? That's what we're saying. How many trains do we have on this line? If I have a look at that, we've got 4 trains on it already. Is that what we're seeing? So we need to add an extra vehicle. Well, let's add an extra vehicle and see what happens with that rate. So 332 is it is at the moment. We'll add one more train to the mix. Well, let's add 2 then, if that's what we're saying. Well, before we do that, no, we can at least, yeah, we should be able to at least add a little bit more. There we go, 300. Yeah, still about just about right there. But yeah, we're going to start running into problems and probably need to double up some of these things. So let's add an extra 1 to the mix there. Okay, and now we'll look at the rate again. 415. Okay, that's good. 415. Oh, something's happening. Look at all these planes outside here. 415. That's the max, right? But we're going to see an upgrade then, and then we'll see. We'll go on from there. So just the 1 extra for the time being. And then we'll need to slowly see where, how much food we actually need to generate. So we'll get that going on, and hopefully that means it'll all slowly start working. I'm almost tempted to put a little bypass section in here, just so that this train can get off the main line. I think that's going to be quite important for us. So I'm going to grab the tracks, I'm going to do that, and what we'll do is I'll actually, from where we've tied this in, so we can take off the double switch basically, It's going to be right there, and it's going to be a problem with this thing. So let's get rid of that just for the time being, and I'm grabbing this one and we'll take it from over there. That's exactly right. And what we'll do is we'll run it around the corner here, and we will aim to tie this in. That's not quite right. We'll need to trim it back a little bit so we can tie it in at a more decent speed. Really? Well, we're going to leave it as is. I think we might have to double up on the bridge just in any case. So what I'll do is I will try and put this as forward as possible, so we at least have a little bit of room for a train to get out of the way and then go in there. And at the same time, I'm just going to remove the double switch section over there, so it's just going to be in this way and out that way. Slips off of there. Good. Okay, that's a lot smoother now, it seems. Okay, that's chasing through there. Perfect. Okay, what is happening next? We've got a lot of stuff happening here. I think what I want to do is I want to start planning out our next kind of hub. Maybe somewhere up here. There's a few things I want to do. I want us to... Wow, we can certainly get a lot more food being generated over here. And presumably, if we do a transport hub on this side, we can also get some crude oil and all kinds of things to be moved in here. I do like that. That's just that's also not bad, and these are not bad. So I'm thinking right over here we can put in a nice big transport hub. So I'm going to build another transport hub in here that'll be serving slightly more northern stuff. So we'll go here. We'll go like the high speed, the catenaries. Yes. Now let's switch on the terrain. I just want to see what's going on. Oh, it's nice and flat, really. It is nice and flat. So let's get out of there. Now, question is, we should probably, it would be okay if we try and join some stuff up here as best we can. But the idea, wrong button. Okay, but the idea is that if I do this, I want to do loops. And that should be quite good. 3 million, yeah, it's 3 million in cost. I can't build it all the way up here, but what we can, and I'm not sure that'll work either way. So I'm gonna place it there, and we'll just get some buses and stuff, or some trucks to work with it. Is this? Hang on, we can get a shift. There we go. Something like that, so we'll have it almost perfectly perpendicular, and we'll need to actually move it out of the way just a little bit more. So we have a little bit of room to deal with this. Actually, maybe we need to make sure it's more center. Okay, something like that. That's the plan. I'm not going to fuss around. So the idea is that we're going to use this other plan where we actually have through trains all the way. So we'll take these four, and they're going to come run this way around this way. I'm happy with like a 60 outside of the station, and then we'll speed it up from there. Hang on though. We may have to run. No, we can just run all of them in one direction. We don't need all of some of them in this direction, some of them in that direction. And for that reason, we could do it right over there. This is crude oil to processed oil, basically. There's crude oil over there. That could be. Then we can run the loops over here. Ooh, I'm going to do it. It's cost us money. My goodness, shareholders are going to hate me. Let's try it. I'm going to put it over here. Instead. And we should have more than sufficient room to run our little loops into that direction. So if we do that, right, there's enough room for us to come down here, run the train in there, and do our loops. Let's get our loops going. Tracks. Okay, inside first probably. Inside first at, say, 60. Then we'll do that. Can we actually get this to work? Can we do this instead? Okay, let's try that. That's looking pretty good. So let's try and run this a little bit more straight out of here. Then what we'll do is we'll do straight sections for the rest as well. So we'll do that straight section around there. Ooh. Up to there. Yeah, there we go. Like that. There we go. Try and get these all straightened out. So that's like those four. And the question is, we can obviously drop them down into smaller rails fairly quickly, but I did want to maybe just have a little bit of extra room out of the gates. Why was that one starting on a slightly slower tangent there? Anyway, we'll do that. We'll run you. You should be able to quite comfortably come around this corner here. Then you're going in there. That goes a little wider. We'll run you up there. Oh, actually, you're just gonna kind of hug that one as we go around. We'll do two more, like this and like that. I believe that's not what I want. So this hub is gonna have so much more capacity than the previous one. There we go. And we can actually just run all of that back all the way over there. Perfect. Now, what I need to do is now we need to kind of trim this down into a single lane. Similarly, we will be doing pretty significant straight sections through here. Yeah, let's run that out a little bit more. I want to really work on the capacity here. So, up that one there. So we don't need it to be on 300. That's not generally the plan. It doesn't have to be on 300. So that's okay. But I do want us to try and maintain proper kind of angles and gradients and things like that. Up to about there. Then if we split that one off yet again, that's okay. 160 or something like that is not bad. Split that one off. Can we not? What's going on here? You've done. Oh, it was auto-saving. Up to about there. Then we'll see about splitting that one off. Perfect. 130 is okay. It's not going to get out of there any quicker than that either. Okay, so there we go. So that's what it is. Now I'm just going to slowly tie all of these in. And we'll bring that guy around. And that should be more than sufficient. Then we'll turn that in and come and tie in over here. And this will be this local hub. And we'll see if we provide other access points of some nature over here also. So the idea is that we want to try and tie in back here at some point. So if we run a little section, okay. You know what I'll do? I'm going to trim that back a little. We don't want to run that any further in than we already have. So let's, you know what? I'm going to try and do a proper, I'm not sure what it's called. The similar thing that I did on the other side, but I'm going to try and do one proper gradient of connection. That's my plan here. This doesn't seem to be tying in. Okay, and something like that. So now what I want to do is I want to do something like this at a proper kind of a proper speed in there. Is that maybe too much for us? How do I? Okay, so the idea is that this is the plan. If I do that, right, and we'll do double. Is this too close though? If we do that, right, if I build this out, right, and we double switch all of these, will they be at an appropriate speed? I'm gonna pull them out a little bit more and try it a little further back. It's quite a substantial hub that we're building here now. I don't know why they don't want to go up to the end. There we go. That one wanted to. That one's okay. This one's okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was doing something wrong. And that one's okay. Now, if we try this one more time through here, right? And I want to try and run it pretty... Oh, it doesn't want to. So if I do something like that, right? That seems pretty reasonable in terms of speeds. Pretty reasonable on all of these things. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, now the idea is that we double switch all of these things. Yes. 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 And I'm not sure if that is the right way of doing this. If you know whether there's an easier way to do this, because now I want to trim back all of these things. I basically want us to finish off that section like so, right? So what I also want to do is I want to get rid of, see these little sticking out points here? That's not quite what I had in mind when I was doing this. So it's not as clean as I would have liked it to be, but that's basically it. And I want to do a very similar thing in terms of these guys, and then just have the one line in and the one line out. And that'll be like the whole through thing there. So let's extend that a little bit more. So we have a proper straight section to deal with. Yeah, a nice proper straight section up here. Right through there. And then the idea is that we do something like this. Yeah, from a speeds perspective, that's not too bad. Do all of those. And what we'll need to do is double switch all of these. Double switch, double switch, double switch, over there and over there, and that one's fine. And then we'll trim back. All of these final sections like that. So that's fine. I just don't want those little areas over there. But it doesn't look too bad as is. So now I just need to bring it in. Actually, what we'll do is we'll grab this one first and we will... gonna make the turn over here. 150 is about the right one for us, and we'll bring it up to there, and then we'll tie it in. Of course, what we'll do is we will try and get this one to tie in over there at, yeah, probably something like that. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. 200 k's an hour. We're going to have some real fast stuff. Man buses, and that one is a nice and quick one. We might upgrade the Kevin-Port ferry to that one. There we go. So now we've got a very nice little hub sorted out over here that's going to allow lots of breakthrough movement right there. Picks up and pick up and go, and we're on the right side on this side also. So if I slot it out of there, that's I'm going to try and make it a little wider. Wow, 100 kilometers only. Well, I can trim it back a little. We'll get it nice and wide. We'll do that, and we'll try that one more time, and we'll see about that. Can we? Yeah, I think that's a better speed. What we'll do is we obviously want its neighbor to go in there also, so we have that nice and smooth. Then we'll have it nice and smooth onto this side. Yeah, that's fine. And its neighbor over here to tie in over there. Perfect. There we go. How about that? That is looking awesome. That is looking awesome. We'll put some stuff in here at least. There should be enough. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. There should be enough room for stuff to hang out over there. Let's get rid of this thing problematic over there, and we'll get the other side. Something like this. We'll see about other things that we need. But now we've got an extra hub over here that can function over here. So this is like the northern hub. Nice. Not sure if that's the only hubs that we're going to need, but for now I'm thinking of renaming this as the, well, let's call it the Chaos Grad hub. Just Chaos Grad hub is the plan. Thank you. So we have a better understanding of where that's going. And this one will be some kind of other hub name. It's like Epicville over here, but there's some other bits and pieces that we have around here. This White Hill. Is this White Hill hub? How far are we north on the map? Or is this like central? Yeah, we're not that far north, right? We'll just call it the White Hill hub for the time being. We might rename it. If you are interested in having naming privileges on this hub, please let me know. White Hill hub for the time being. Okay, now one of the things that I'm keen on doing is running direct services between the two, and then from there actually trying to feed these other guys. Do we have any stuff coming in here? Nothing is waiting. Is this part of any kind of route though? I don't think so. I don't think so. Are we running anything in here? This is not part of any route, I think. The only trains that come up here is the main line that runs through there. Come on, what's going on? There we go. Dartmouth over here probably also needs a name, and we can probably start connecting into Dartmouth a little bit. And we could also do passenger hubs somewhere over here. Okay, what I want to do is run lines. Let's start with running. What kinds of lines do we have here? We've got Needham Market over here, we've got Swindon over here, and then that needs to continue on into this direction. So now we've got a little bit of stuff. So we should actually start accumulating some stuff that can go back. So potentially what we do is we can have raw materials or goods that can just make their way back there. So I think one of the things that I'll do is I'll set up a little bit of this, and then we'll have at least the oil moving back that direction. So let's grab a road and we'll connect this up here so we can, because I was thinking we need to start looking at the fuel industry a little bit, because I'm not sure we're producing anywhere near enough stuff here. So let's grab a small little road over there. We probably need to give it a little bit of a turn at some point. Okay, so something like that. We'll hug the edge there, and then we'll do something like that. Can we drop? Wants to do a cut, eh? If we do that, it's not. Why is it only those two options? Why can't you just hug the ground, eh? It's a cut, eh? It's a big cut. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it. Why? Hug the ground. Wow, there's lots of cars driving over there. We'll have to see. We'll check what all of that is about. Actually, over here somewhere we can then put trim it back a little. And then we can put like a station or something in here. Buildings, a cargo station thingy. So something like that. And then we'll just configure that, expand it a little bit. I don't think we need to expand it a lot, but we'll expand it a little. And to be honest, we can also connect it onto that one. Street access. over here. No, come on. Come on. Let's try if we add one more. Can we then do it? I don't think so. I think we're gonna be out of too much slope now. It wants to, but it's just got a little bit too much. Anyway, that's fine. We're just gonna leave it as is. We could probably provide a depot or something of some sorts over here. Look at that. What is that? A bear running across the street here? That's awesome. That's awesome. Now let's tie in. Too many choices with the roads here. Yeah, let's just do that. We'll put a bit of a depot over here somewhere. Buildings, a depot for road vehicles. We'll place it right over there. So at least we have a depot nearby that can actually start running this route over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say new line. Oh, I didn't actually build the thing on this side. So let's build the thing. Buildings, cargo, yeah, over here. Build the thing. Okay, building the thing over there. Now back to our things. I've added a new one. Okay, we'll come back to renaming it. Let's add a station. Add a station, one over there and one over here, and that'll start bringing in some of the oil there. Okay, this is going to be road. Right, it's going to be White Hill Hub, and it's going to be oil. Something like that. For the time being, that's going to be what it is until we get some new names through. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to move like a lot of these tanker truck thingies. So let's get like 10 of them. We'll assign all of them to our new line. There we go. I fill up oil. They're going to run out of there and start moving that. Then what I think we can do is we can actually implement a train that runs from the one to the other. And are we providing fuel over here? We are providing fuel. So I am thinking we probably don't want to run fuel all the way. So we can redo that one a little bit later. But what we can start off with is a little fuel section over here. Oh, the other thing we can do, I'm just thinking now, if we, I like it. I'm going to put a depot here, a train depot right over here, and that'll feed. We're not actually allowing the double loop here. But we have enough room to potentially come back with double loops. Potentially we can do a double loop. But then we'll need to extend this out a little bit more and double loop it back over here. It's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. Let's do that. I'm going to do it. Since we haven't started doing anything that can be disrupted over here, let's do that. I'm going to trim that out, and what we'll do, I'm going to trim that out, and then we'll want to do that, right? There we go. That's the one. But then also from here, I'm going to just tie you in a little bit further down. That's a nice one, no? I think this is a good idea. Still don't have exactly what that's a bit tight, isn't it? We could trim it back. Yeah, maybe like that. It's going to be just fine. We don't need them to run next to each other over there. Look at that. That's better. That's way better. Okay, building that. There we go. That's awesome. Now, what I can do is we can have a depot over here that feeds in on this side, and then you can come around, or you can go out into any direction over there. Oh, I like it. I like it. So I'm now going to place the depot right over here. Is that about the right angle? Let's try and sort out that angle just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's about right. Place it back right over here, so they kind of do that. There we go. And we'll get that track tie in right over there, and make sure to get this signal over here. The one thing that we don't have though is we can't, unless we tie them in on that side. That's something I I didn't quite think, but we don't really use that. But we'll have it. We'll have that as an option also. So you can get off of there and come in here if you so need to. It's a little bit of a cut there, but it's okay. That is fine. Now what we'll do is over here you will have that as a stop, and over there you'll have that as a stop. We obviously need probably a stop over here somewhere. Pass through there, that's going to be just fine. Don't think those need any stops there, but these would probably need something like that. So what I would like us to do is have our stops on here so that we don't, block anything. I don't think this guy needs the stop, but anyway, that's okay. You can see about adding extras should we need to. But for the time being, that's okay. I think all of that's okay. We probably need some stuff over here also. Well, actually over here, so that they clear the path as quickly as possible. I don't think it's necessary, so that's okay. So there we go. So we've got these things running. Now I would like us to get some trains running, actually. So what we can, well, let's set up a train to run to the other side there. So if we say a new line, so from White Hill to all the way to Chaos Grad Hub. Okay, and that's the hub to hub. This is train hub to hub, and it might be oil or something like that. We'll come back and give it some names, like things like that. So for the time being, I'm just tempted to put a little bit of everything in there, really. Oh, that's White Hill. That's where we got White Hill over here. I'm tempted to just put a little bit of everything on there, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily the right approach. And you can I welcome any comments. So let's get an electric train. That one is, wow, it's pretty powerful, but it's overkill. This one is probably better at 140, and with these kind of tractive efforts, that one is probably better. And that one is much lower power, so it depends on how heavily we're going to load this guy. So I'm thinking this guy needs to be quick and all those kind of things. It's not the hilliest of terrains, but there are some bridges and stuff in there, so let's do that. Hub to hub needs a specific fancy kind of color, I think. Not too sure what we'll do with hub to hub though. We've used almost all kind of colors, so it's not going to be a very distinct type of color. We've used black, we've used red, we've used white, we've used the blue colors. Let's just grab one of these blue colors as hub to hub. We'll grab that, and now from a cargo perspective, right, we want to do a little bit of everything on this guy because it's going to move stuff over. So we'll say like 4 boxcars, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that enough? I doubt that's enough, right? 5, 6, so something like that maybe. Wow, even that's not going to be quite enough. Maybe we'll do two of them. One with these, and then, so we'll do something like that, 100 capacity there, and then we'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something like this maybe. Then it runs between the two, and we'll probably need to buy at least 2 of them. So it can run food and oil between these two, and then we'll see about one that's going to grab the other stuff. Okay, let's grab 2 of them. They're pretty pricey, and we will please switch them to our new hub to hub line. Start running hub to hub, buddies. Okay, so now that means these guys will be able to start moving oil out of the way. Oh, look at that guy. Nice. Also pretty good. Also pretty good. Okay, so we'll start moving things a little bit up to hub over here. What I also want to do is maybe now get a train in place that can run those exact same goods to Swindon over here. So that exact same configuration, I would run goods to Swindon, and we'll see about a configuration like that to run goods over here and to run goods over here, and then we'll have other bits and pieces come into the hub. That's kind of the idea. Okay, so let's set up one of those lines. We'll say from here, please, you will be going to Swindon and back, and you're going to be the train, and this is just going to be hub to, what are we calling sun? Hub to sun line for goods, I don't know, oil and food and stuff. Oh no, let's just start off with that. There goes the naming convention out of the window. Okay, so let's get a train for that. Just going to start off with the one for now. So cargo, electric cargo trains. What was the other one? Oh, it was a diesel one actually. Didn't even realize that. This one can be slightly smaller. Yeah, I'm going to grab that guy. Give it a, I don't know, some kind of color, different color, and then we'll do some cargo wagons. Again, I'm going to go with some boxcars, like maybe like that, something like that maybe. And we'll do similarly, so we'll go up to like 260. Yeah, something like that maybe. Mediocre. Okay, well, let's trim it back a little. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's trim that back. Now it's up to good. I think that's going to be okay. Let's try that. Let's run that and see if that's okay. Maybe we'll trim back one of those two. I think that's going to be just a fine. So let's buy one of them, and we'll run that one to our new hub to Swindon line. Okay, start running that. So we'll start moving some of this stuff out of here. How are they? Yeah, they are using separate little track areas, pieces. What we could also do is we could definitely make sure to get something going on in there. Nice, so that will start moving into here. What we can do now is these guys can obviously start moving up here instead, and we can have construction materials and stuff running from the one side to the other side basically. Yeah, we need a little bit more action over here. No, that's not right. That's the one. Okay, perfect. Out of the way. See how that works. This one's starting to run. We'll have some demand starting to develop. So as you can see, hub to hub is starting to at least get some of this crude stuff wanting to go out that way. It's getting that demand to be filled up. So there's a lot of work for us to do to move stuff in here. And now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and move a lot of materials into the hub. That is kind of the plan. The local materials I want to start moving into the hub as best as possible. And if that means actually running trucks to some of these areas. So if I need to run trucks to all of these things, right? Ooh, look at that. Look at this. Look at this. If I need to run a truck to do that, that's a good idea for us. That is a good idea. Ooh, one thing that I need to do just to make sure that our demands are fully compliant over here. We are definitely going to bring in oil and probably food stuffs over here. So anyway, we need to find a spot to drop off most of the stuff, and I think that is going to be pretty wide reaching there. If we just drop it off right over there, it's even more wide reaching if we drop it off right here in the middle of town. No, maybe this is in fact better. So we'll drop off stuff over there. So let's put in a little bit of a local distribution line over here for Swindon. So we say new line from there to here, and that's going to be called the road freight. Road? Yeah, road. Sun. What did we call it? Local. Sun local. Mug, food, fuel, trains, road, kit local. Yeah. Tools. Local goods freight. Yeah. Local goods freight. Yeah, Sun local. And that'll be goods freight right there. And we'll have all kinds of vehicles in there. And this is trams, right? So we're going to need a little bit more than that over here. So let's get the vehicle depot. There's areas we can work on so much all the time in this game. So much. There's so much improvement that can be done all the time. Now, what I wanted to do is just get these standard guys. So let's get I think like 6 of them should be just fine. And we'll move them to our new road Sun local goods freight line. Thank you. So start running that guy out of there. So that'll help our demands out a little bit more. There's a lot of goods here and it's probably starting to lose traction a little bit. This guy is not moving anything just yet. We are waiting on those other trains. I believe here they come. Are they bringing some stuff in? Oh, what? Why is it bringing oil in? Oh, yes, to be processed. My goodness, that feels like wrong. Well, we may have to deal with that a little bit more. How does this actually work? I just want to see how it works. Well, on the outside line, it is pretty good. Picks up a fair bit of stuff and it starts running back. 108. That's okay. We need to fill that up. Gets out of there pretty quickly. We can obviously do a load of signals over there. Probably a good idea for us to do so. And then I'm going to end this episode and we will move on. You guys can tell me what you want us to add to this. No, don't do that. It's one way. You guys can tell me what you want us to see us add to this. That is there, and we'll just do that one over there. Is this one done? Did we not get it? There we go. All of them there, and all we need to do is just get rid of that one. There we go. So now this thing should be fairly efficient. There's another one coming in. They're pretty close together. This guy's not bringing in anything. There's a little bit of stuff waiting for it. Not a lot though. How's this guy going? Starting to move a fair bit of this now. Shipment. So this thing should potentially see an upgrade. Let's just see on this side. Is that getting us? Ooh, nice. That is starting to move a little bit as well. So we are properly utilizing that a fair bit. And then from here, what we can do is we can now start to provide supply with truck to these areas. These two can get truck supplies. That will be quite good if we can supply with that by truck. Yes, excellent. And we'll see about supplying this guy and getting trucks to run in from some of these areas. That we're not necessarily going to be able to use just yet. That probably not either. But some of this we should be able to connect with trucks to these so that they can go back to the hub and move to wherever they need to go. So that we can fill up both sides of the rail. It is quite complex to deal with the cargo side of things. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This is our second hub, and I'm thinking a fair bit more efficient than the last one. Tell me if you approve or not by leaving a comment down below and hitting the like button. If you haven't yet joined the Discord, I also encourage you to do that, where we have more in-depth discussions on things like this. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.